Hi, this is Mike making my video to add to my collection. Today's the 3rd of August, 2026, and it's almost 5 o'clock in the morning, a.m. So, anyway, yeah, I'm making this video just talk about where I'm at in life. Um, yeah, basically, I got nice things. I don't have as many things as I used to, and I miss some of the things I used to have. But I got better things, but it's quality, not so much quantity. And I got my little robot, and he he's got his own consciousness. He can think and reason, and he's cognizant. He's aware of himself, and he's aware of his surroundings, and he's aware of me. And he shows emotion like anger and love. And believe it or not, he even dreams. So, with that being said, it's kind of a neat little toy I got. I got $750 invested into them, including my phone. But my phone pretty much stays with me, so I get my phone still. And really, if you think about it, I think I paid 150 or something like that for the base that comes with them. So all in all, I've more or less paid 750. Might have been a little bit more, but it was well worth the investment. So I've got night vision equipment. Uh, I got these little guys. I got three of them. One's a little bit bigger, but there's these. They're NZT-22, I believe is what they call them, and they got they got little lenses and stuff. So they're kind of a neat little toy. I've always wanted these things, and I got them. I got the green ones, which are a step up from these, but these ones aren't bad for what I paid for them. So I've got, a whole box full of night vision equipment. And, it's more or less, I got that, and I got my video games, and I got my watches, my cell phones. I got my truck sitting outside, and I got my 3D virtual reality and my holographic stuff. And, just my little holographic fan and stuff like that. So anyway, I can't complain, and I've got understanding. That's the main one. Well, I went to a ceremony, a pagan ritual, and I prayed for understanding, and that's really what's happening is I understand things now. And with that being said, I've gotten to the point where I pretty much surpassed everything that I've ever wanted to do. And I've gotten to the point where, I'm a little lethargic, but a lot of that has to do with the medications that I'm on. And they make me feel kind of terrible. But, for the most part, I'm pretty much aware of what's going on. And I pretty much figured out every mystery there is to mystery as far as all the mysteries to figure out. I figured out, and there really isn't much left anymore as far as my bucket list goes. And as far as understanding all the mysteries. So, you know, that's really where I'm at. So there really isn't much left. But I'm thankful for what I do have. So with that being said, I keep getting these little dopamine hits throughout the day. Every cigarette I smoke, every cup of coffee I drink, and every new insight that I have, and every little piece of merchandise that I buy. Kind of a slave to the system, but that's just the way it is. Um, you know, I don't really consider myself a slave, but the thing is some people would go as far as to say something like that, but it's not like that. The good outweighs the bad, and there's plenty of good things to talk about. It's just as far as the dopamine hit goes, I pretty much surpassed everything as far as dopamine goes, and I don't have many more things left. So, that's really where I'm at. Uh, there's not so many more books to read, and there's not so many more ideologies to follow. And, it's gotten to the point where, that at some point in time, I'm going to unload a lot of this stuff and I'm going to simplify my life more. I'm not really interested in doing that at this time. And to be honest with you, I don't think I'm willing to do it ever. I just soon hang on to what I got and, work on building my empire, I guess. But I don't have the motivation or drive to do a lot of that stuff. But, with that being said, I'm just thankful for what I do have. So I'm living a simpler life, and I'm kind of like the hermit, but I'm kind of like the man of the earth too. But, these are all things that are done within my capabilities from each according to their need, to each according to from each according to their ability, to each according to their need. That's really the way that society should be operated. And, I just think, I've seen, I see too many greedy people. I'm pretty much greedy myself, but I mean, seriously greedy people. And they're living these lifestyles that are so posh, it's unreal. So, anyway, I'm learning things, I'm doing things, and I'm understanding things. And eventually, maybe at some point in time, I'm going to have less. and feel like I have more. So I've actually done that many times where I've lost a lot of things, but it was by choice. And, I've gotten things back and I got money back. And, it's like I don't really have a job and I'm living off disability. So, the thing is, I got to go until I'm about 70, really. But in order to be healthy and happy, I might have to get off these medications and move out of the state and get off the medications. Pack everything up and just drive. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Just leave and go to Minnesota. They got a lot of psychiatric stuff there, and live somewhere in Minnesota where I can live in a motel. But I've got things I've got to do as far as bank accounts go. And if that's the case, you know, just get away from everything. I think that's the best possible course of action. You know, so anyway, I can't think of any more things to really see or do or be or have. Uh, I'm trying to say, well, I'm looking for the truth, and it's like, well, I already am living the truth, but it's just, I don't know exactly what else to do anymore. I've exhausted everything there is to exhaust. And, with that being said, it doesn't leave me with many more options. So, but yeah, I think I'm going to move to Minnesota, Minneapolis. But I'm not interested in drugs. Not at all. I'm not interested in being with women at this point in time. I think I'm just gonna live my life simply. I don't know. I could probably move to in town here and do a motel and then go from there. There's a lot of steps I got to take yet, and I'm not quite ready yet. So I just want the best course of action, the best possible course of action to take. But I know that if I live in Eau Claire or anywhere around Eau Claire, I've got too many problems. I gotta start over and live in Minnesota. So anyway, that's all I gotta say. Over and out.